I'm more interested in the migration figures.
Yeah, huge.
700,000. So this only a few months ago, we discovered, to our horror, that while we've been fretting about 50 or 60,000 illegal migrants coming over the English Channel in dinghies and small boats, we discovered a couple of months back that meanwhile the government's letting in 1,100,000 migrants legally. 500 go back, so we were left with 600. Now the new figures reveal that is up to 700. 700,000 legal increase per year.
It's absolutely insane. In a country whose population is estimated to be 68 million, I don't think we actually know the true figures of that. You're looking at almost, therefore, 1/10 of the population being added on almost an annual basis at this point. And people from all sorts of different walks of life. We're not having a big enough discussion about the impact on infrastructure, but we're also not having a big enough discussion about the impact on social cohesion either. And a lot of people still feel too demonised to say that our communities are massively changing. You know, the face of our high streets is looking very different. Our wages are being driven down by people who are, frankly, able to do a job for a lot cheaper than we can. Yeah. And if you dig down into those figures and look at who's getting what, these aren't people who are all economically active. You know, even the Office for Budget Responsibility said in their last forecast that the vast amount of people going in are no more economically active than the current population, because you've got so many spousal visas and, you know,
the question is though, Alex, is that, you know, why is the government letting this vast number? And I'll tell you why. It's because in a very small way, it will make your economy look slightly more buoyant. So if you get more people in, even if they haven't got much money, they've got a few pennies, they spend a bit, the economy doesn't look quite as bad as it would if they weren't here. But it is a very short-term policy that will not pay dividends in the long term. Though that's what's going on. This huge influx, over 1 million a year, just to keep the economy bubbling over. And the rest, well, it does in the short term, it doesn't in the long term.
It's this idea that big business, they've got a huge appetite for cheap labour, and it might add a bit of a percentage point onto overall economic GDP, but it's the GDP per capita. People aren't getting richer off the back of this. Brits are not getting wealthier, they're getting poorer, because there's more mouths around the table, public services are under strain.
Yeah, of course.
And the profit margins of big multinational companies might be better. We don't care. The government shouldn't be representing them. They should be representing us, and we should feel able to talk frankly about not liking it. And I'm fed up now. Governments for decades have been promising immigration in the tens of thousands, and we're now looking at basically 1 million.
There you go. And the rest, it was 1.1 last year, probably 1.2 this year if we've gone up to 700,000. So it is soaring, you might say. So as net migration is predicted to hit 700,000 later this week, we ask, is Britain at breaking point?